excited to do some book shopping in here. I don't really know what I want to bring home. I feel like because I've read so many romances, maybe I'll bring home something that is like outside of what I normally grab. I haven't done a like video where I go to the library and like specifically book shop in the library, so I figured it would just be fun to see what is here. It's been a minute since I've like popped in here, but I want to encourage you to go to your library if you don't, because I feel like a lot of people assume that libraries don't have maybe like the best recs, and my library literally has so many popular books that have like just come out. Let's go over to the new releases and see what they have. This is the new section. They have a pretty good like amount of rows over here, but the first thing I'm seeing is People of Means, and this book just came out and I haven't read it yet. I actually bought this because I've heard that it's really good, and the person who wrote The House of Eve and Yellow Wife gave it like rave reviews. So I also love that they have 2 copies here, because I feel like there's this misconception that if you come to the library you're not going to be able to find the book that you want, or if it is there that someone will have already checked it out. But there's multiple copies of this one, and they do that pretty often, like here, here, here. They just do that with a lot of their books, which I love. I know that this book has absolutely nothing to do with the movie Sinners, but it says oh Sinners on the front, and it's making me think of the movie and how I genuinely cannot go see it. Comment below if you've watched the movie and if you think it's like super scary, because I think Brady wants to go see it, but I cannot watch anything scary. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, if it's like the least bit scary, like I get so like, I don't know, I just get like so scared like really easily. And I've heard from a lot of people it's like more gory than it is like actually scary. But I feel like people who watch scary movies have said that. So I need to know from someone who's like a scaredy cat, if you watch the movie, is it too scary? Like, I can't do with like ghosts or like spiritually things. I literally get so scared. Not scared, but I get like creeped out, I guess I'll say. And then gore, like I don't really like watching gore. Like sometimes it makes me like sick to my stomach. So yeah, I know it's supposed to be a scary movie, but is it like just scary because vampires are in it, like Twilight vibes, or is it like actually scary? So someone let me know, because I do kind of want to see it because everyone's hyped it up, but I do not want to be scared. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I won't go see it. I've heard from a lot of people that this book is good, and I know that Aaliyah on her channel, she read this book, and I think that Kayla from Kayla's Book is Vibes, she read this as well and really enjoyed it. I feel like the library would be the perfect place to pick up a book like this, because if I don't like it I can just take it back, but I also don't DNF books, so part of me thinks like I would read it anyway. Like, I'm not going to just bring it back and not read it, but I feel like this is the time for me to like try out books like whenever I'm at the library versus just buying them. I've already picked out one book that I want to bring with me home. It's so funny because I picked out a romance, and I do want to get some books that aren't romance, but I feel like sometimes I just like push myself to pick out genres or like books from different genres that I don't normally read from, and I think that's a good thing. But I also think that sometimes I like feel bad for reading the same genre all the time. Like last month I pretty much read all romance, so I want to like branch out a little bit, but also I love that I read romance, and I picked up one. I don't want to pick up that many, but I did pick up one. Guys, this book has been on my shelf, or not this one, this one right here has been on my shelf back home for the longest. I've been wanting to read it, and I don't know why I don't pick it up. Like, there's just something, I think because I haven't really heard anyone talk about it like in a while, it's just making me like not really want to read it anytime soon. But I'm pretty sure that this book is like a woman who's in her 40s, I think, and yeah, she's in her 50s, and I just think that that's so cool. Or the guy's in his 50s, maybe she's in her 40s, I don't know. I just feel like you don't see a lot of characters in romances specifically that are not like in their 20s or like early 30s or like starting life. So I feel like this one would be a really fun one to read. So I did end up grabbing a book that is in the romance section, another one. Do I need it? Probably not, but I really want to get it because it's not at my local Barnes & Noble, and I always feel like if I see a book that's not at my local Barnes & Noble, I want to support the library. Like, if it's one that I would want to like bring home, I want to support the library and like check it out, because it's by a Black author, it's like brand new, and I feel like it's just incredible that they have it here. So I'm going to bring it home, but I was walking around, and while I was walking around, I was thinking about how when I was like a kid, I was told not to put my hands in my pockets, and I just did not realize like how many like small things that my parents taught me as a child have like passed on to adulthood. And that's one of the things I was like, girl, like you're at the library, like you do not need to keep your hands out of your pockets. Like, but I think as a kid, especially as like a black little girl, like when you're taking someone into the grocery store, it's like you don't want your kids to be like having their hands in their pockets. So I was just thinking about that because I put my phone in my pocket and I like put my hands in my pockets for a second and I like pulled them out so fast. What are other things that you guys were taught as kids that you like shouldn't do? Like whether it's like turn off, you know, the light while you're driving, or just like random things that still as an adult it's like hard to actually do, even though that it's like fine to do it now. Let me know in the comments because I feel like there's a ton of things that I don't even think about. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I love going through and touching books that I've read. It's like I just see it and touch it. I'm like, oh, I remember reading you. Like I remember when I read you. I remember how I felt when I read you. And I do that so much whenever I see books that I've read, whether it's in the library or in the bookstore. One thing I absolutely love about the library is I always end up finding books that I've like never seen before or like never really thought about purchasing, and then I always end up picking it up and like wanting to read the inside. I don't know what it is. I feel like when I'm in like a bookstore, for some reason I'm like, I'm going in with a mission, I'm getting these specific things, and I don't really like to branch out. Maybe it's because I know that at the library I'm not like paying money if I don't like the book, so I don't feel like I'm wasting anything. But this book right here says Holding Her Breath. It says a moving and whip-smart debut novel following a former competitive swimmer and granddaughter of a famous Irish poet as she comes of age in the shadow of her family's tragic past. It says perfect for fans of Sally Rooney and Elf Bateman's The Idiot. So again, I've never picked this up, but I love that the library allows me to like try new things, new authors, new genres, and not feel like I'm like wasting anything if I don't end up liking it. I really want to read this book, but I feel like I wouldn't be doing it justice now if I read it because I'm not in the mood for historical fiction, even though I do want to read this book. Like just literally not right now. I feel like I have to read books when I'm in the mood for them, because if I don't, I feel like I just don't connect with the characters or the plot as much. I always see this book at the bookstore and I think, I wonder what this book is about. I mean, obviously it says bear on it, so it's like maybe about a bear, I don't know. But it's funny because at a bookstore I would never think to actually buy it. Like I just wouldn't. And I feel like the library is the perfect place to bring this home, try it out, see if I like it. If I don't, maybe it'll be my first DNF, who knows? Or maybe it'll be a book that I love and I rate 5 stars. But like, I just feel like I can, I don't know, bring home anything when I'm here. This is probably not something I should be thinking about like literally at all, because it's just like reading should be fun. But I think as a creator, I think differently about some things that other people wouldn't. Like, I haven't read a ton of other books other than romance lately, and sometimes I'm like, what if someone started watching my videos because they liked my historical fiction recs or my thriller recs, and like I haven't read those as much, and so like maybe I need to add those in more. And then I have to remind myself, it's like, you guys are hopefully here because you guys like hanging out with me no matter what you read, whether it's fantasy or like nonfiction books or even things that I just like don't really get into. And I hope that you'll stay here regardless of what I read, because I feel like years from now I'll probably read different things than I read now, or maybe I'll read the same, who knows. But I don't know, I think so often it's easy to try to change yourself for what you think that people would want you to be or what they would want from you, and I'm really trying to like just not do that. So I don't know, comment below what you guys like what books you guys normally read. Like I don't know if you're like the same type of reader as me, but hopefully you like staying here regardless of what I'm reading. I just had to remind myself of that because I was just like, maybe I should like get something else, and it's like, no, get what you want. Reading is supposed to be fun. I honestly think that's why I stopped reading books and stuff after college, because I felt like I had to read a specific type of book. Like I, you know, would read all these like classics in college and like contemporary fiction and like very like literary type books. So after college I was like, oh, I need to read those things to be a like real reader. But you are a real reader no matter what you read. If you read young adult books, if you read elementary school books, if you're reading kids books to your kids, like you're a reader. And I feel like it's easy to want to box yourself into what you think that like people want you to be as a reader. If you read one book a month, if you read 100 books a month, if you read one page a month, if you read one sentence a month, I just want to remind you of that, because I feel like I need to remind myself of that today too. I feel like this author hasn't come out with anything in a long time. Like I think this came out in 2020, and then this one I'm pretty sure came out in 2019, and then this book, The Heart Principle, came out in 2021. And I remember when The Kiss Quotient came out, it was like super popular, like everyone read it, myself included, and I feel like it was one of those like heavy book talk books. But I always wonder, the authors that like, I don't know, are super popular in book talk and like, you know, everyone loves their book, what happens when they like stop writing? Like, do people forget about them? Like if she came out with another book, would people read it? Or is she one of those authors where it's like you kind of had your like 15 minutes of fame? Like I don't know, sometimes I wonder about that with not older but like authors that wrote books a few years ago that were popular. Not really someone who ever really reads mysteries, but I just found this mystery section. There's like a bunch of mysteries, and this book like really called to me, and it called to me because the cover more than anything. But again, I'm not someone who reads a mystery, so I feel like if I were to read one, it would be at the library. It says 27, rich and beautiful, Amber Knight is living everyone's dream. Her music career is established, her acting career is taking off, and she has a lifestyle fit for the top of the A-list. So why has she started acting so strangely? At least that's how it seems to Nick Belsey, a less celebrated resident of North London. Belsey's decade-long career of Hampstead Criminal Investigation Department is coming to abrupt end, but he still can't seem to kick his habit of getting into serious trouble. When he's asked by a desperate mother to help find her only son, Belsey has to infiltrate Amber's glittering world. The seedy underside to her seemingly perfect life, a realm of excess, obsession, lust, and greed, doesn't surprise him. What does is the blood trail that leads directly to Amber. As one twisted crime follows another, Belsey finds himself chasing more answers than when he started out. The stakes are raised dangerously high, and Belsey's own survival is at stake. It may be too late to save his reputation, but he's not ready to die just yet, and especially not at the hands of a celebrity. This looks good, and there's tons of dialogue. Like literally every page is like just dialogue after dialogue after dialogue. Like I love books like this. I feel like I need to pick a book that I've like never heard of before and just like read it. Like I need to bring a book like that home my stack. This is called The House of Fame by Oliver Harris. I've never heard of this one, but it does look really good, and it looks like a fairly short book too. I think it's like 320 pages or so. Officially decided I will not be buying the new book from Carly Fortune. Like I'm not doing it. Like I literally should just get it from the library. They have all of the books here. Like literally, let me show you guys. There is the book Every Summer After, which I did end up reading this one. Meet Me at the Lake, which I did end up reading this one. I didn't really like either of these. And then I think I ended up buying this one, but I gave it to a free library because I just couldn't, like, there were so many like back and forth reviews where like some people liked it, some people didn't. And because I didn't like these two, I was just like, I think I'm not gonna like this. I don't know. And so I ended up giving it to a free library, and she has a new book coming out, and I feel like I always want to buy her books because the covers are so pretty, and I do judge books by their covers. flowers. Should I? Yes, I should absolutely not do that. I mean, not yes, no, I should definitely not do that. But I do, and her covers are so pretty, so I want to buy them. And she has a new book that's coming out, and it's like blue, but I'm just gonna get it from my library. So hold me to that, because I do not need this book. You know what I wish the library would do? I wish they would do like a summer book section. So like this book right here, it's obviously back, you know, with all the books, and you have to like, you know, kind of find it. But I wish that there was like the new release section, and there was like a summer book section, a winter book section, so then whenever the seasons come, that you like feel like you're gonna want to read books like this, like the cutesy fluffy reads. They're not just like hold up in the back, because like this would be such a great book to read like in spring and summer. I love this book so much. This would be another good one. I haven't read this one, but it's called Late Bloomer. It has like flowers on it. I don't know, I just think that would be such a great idea for a library or for a bookstore too. I'm trying to decide which books I want to keep and which books I want to like put back in the stack, and then I just started thinking about how when I was younger I used to bring home 17 books every single time I was in here. My parents would like make that my limit. I think it was like 17 or maybe 12, I can't remember. It was like such an odd number. It wasn't 10, it wasn't 20. And I remember I'd take them home and literally bring them like all back within the week after like I read them. My dad would bring me to the library every week. It was like I don't know, it was just like a thing that we did. It was like really fun. And now it's like I don't have a limit. I could bring home 17 books if I want to. Like, will I probably read them all within a week? No, but I don't know, I feel like there's something in my brain that makes me feel like this is too many, but it's like, it's the library, that's what it's for. Like, and checking out books actually helps the library. That's how they're able to get more grants. And so a lot of the time I'll actually check out books that I own, and then I'll also check out some books that I don't own. But the books that I do own at home that I check out from the library, I feel like it pushes me to read them, because it's like, what are you gonna do? Check out a book, not read it, and still own it at home and not read it? Like, so I don't know, I feel like it always pushes me to read a book that's maybe been on my shelf a little too long, and then it still helps the library at the same time. So if you're someone who maybe you don't go to the library to like check out books because you have like books at your own house, and you like, you know, just don't feel like it's worth it, it is. If you're coming here to read and relax, you should definitely check out at least one book. And even if you don't like get to that book, and like maybe you read a book from home, it still will let the library know that you're utilizing the resource, because they like track that. So one of you guys actually told me that, who was a librarian, and I thought that was really cool. So now I don't feel bad bringing home all these books. I love that I got so many books at the library, but before I show you all of these, I want to show you guys this little book club cards like box that I got. This came in the mail and I haven't even opened it. It's just been sitting in the plastic, so I thought we would open it together. These are like cards that you can use to put on a table, like if you have friends in town, or if you have a book club, or if you have a dinner, and they're like conversation cards. So I wanted to read some of them because I thought it would be cool to see what's on here with you, because it's like, I don't know, this is only going to be of interest to bookish people. So the cards, they're called book club cards. Again, they could be used for book club, or they could be used for like literally anything. What's your least favorite romance trope? Which character do you identify with the most? What about this couple bothered you the most? Which character would you want to be stuck on a deserted island with? And there's like different genres. There's romance, thriller, fantasy. It says, did the villain have any redeeming qualities? Are there any plot points that weren't resolved or addressed in the end? And what do you like most about this book? F, marry, kill for romance. Like, you would be like, would you like, I don't know, F, marry, kill Gus from Beach Read. Like, I feel like this would be fun to do with friends. What celebrity would you recommend this book to? Fan cast this book. So obviously you have to do this like either with a book club or with friends who are maybe like reading together, or they like all have books together. Like, I'll do little reading picnics sometimes with friends, and they are like really fun. But I feel like since we're all reading different books, Usually we don't read the same books. It can kind of be hard to figure out like what to talk about. So anyway, thought I would open that with you guys before I show you the books that I got from the library. I also am gonna link this like, what's it called? Coffee table, because it's one of my favorite pieces in our home, but I feel like I never talk about it just because it's not something that comes to like front of mind for me. But I started thinking about it because I was like, I need to put up some books, and there's a little bit of space here, so I think I'm gonna put a book that I finished here. There's only books that I finished on this coffee table, which is like, I do that for a reason because I want people to have something to talk about. But yeah, I really love this coffee table so much. I feel like it's just the perfect little conversation piece, and it makes it really easy to have stuff to talk about because there's literally books like the whole like front to back. Now that I'm back, I want to give you guys a book haul of the books that I picked up. I'm really excited to read these because they are definitely different than what I would normally grab, but I think the library is just such a magical place because I feel like I can get anything and there's like no repercussions. Like, and by repercussions I mean like if I buy a book that is boring or it's just like one I don't like, it's like I didn't spend any money. It's funny, I actually went up to the front counter to like give them my library card, and I was like, oh, I wonder how much it's gonna be. And it's like, oh, it's free. Like, it's literally free. So I'm really excited to show you guys the books that I picked up. Let me show you guys the first one. It is a thriller. It's called On a Quiet Street. This is actually written by a Black author, and it says the perfect neighborhood can be the perfect place to hide. Who wouldn't want to live in Brighton Hills, this exclusive community on the Oregon coast? It's a mix of luxury and natural beauty. And it says, but when you start to look beyond the airy open floor plans and marble counters, Brighton Hills is filled with secrets. Some big, some little, some deadly, and one by one they're about to be revealed. And I skipped literally a whole like paragraph and a half, but you get the gist. It just seems like a creepy town. There's some things going on. And it's by Serafina Nova Glass. And then I also picked up this book, 1 in a Million, which is the book I was telling you about that is brand new. It literally came out in April, and it is written by a Black author, and this is the book that was not in my Barnes & Noble. And the thing is like, whoever stocks the books at my library, they are looking into like what they need to be like adding to the shelf. Like, they're not just getting like the Emily Henrys and the Abby Jimenez, like they're getting books that are, I don't know, diverse and unique and different, and books that you're not going to see at your Barnes & Noble, but also books that you do see in your Barnes & Noble. So it made me happy, and I'm excited to read this one. This is actually one that I do own on my shelf, and I wanted to get a few books that I own on my shelf because it always pushes me to read them. Sometimes I get nervous to read books by authors I haven't read from before because I think I'm not going to like them, but like, you don't know until you try. You know, like I could read the same authors over and over again for the rest of my life, but it's like I'm never gonna know if I like any new authors until I try them. So excited to read this one. I also picked up this book, which is a thriller. It's called Take It Back by Kia Abdullah. And this author right here is one I've read like one book from her, but I haven't really read too much from her. It says one victim, four accused, who is telling the truth. And it's about Jody, who's a 16-year-old girl. And it says that she has facial deformities and she accuses 4 boys in her class of an unthinkable crime. The community is torn apart. And I think you as a reader are deciding like who is the person to believe. And she does a great job of like writing courtroom thrillers. That's what I read of hers. I think it was called oh my gosh, I can't even remember the title, but I do remember that I enjoyed it, and it was my first courtroom thriller, so I'm gonna try another one. And then I told you guys I wanted to pick up one book that was a book I had never heard anyone talk about before, and this is that book. This is called Everything Is Not Enough by Lola Akinmaid Ackerstrom, and this is the author who wrote In Every Mirror She's Black. I've never read that book, but I've heard about that book, but I haven't heard about this one. So I wanted to pick this one up. It says that this is a highly anticipated second novel, which follows the lives of 3 Black women as they fight their own personal struggles in the most egalitarian of societies, Sweden. Can a career woman truly have it all? Powerful marketing executive Kimmy has finally found the man she needs, but Tobias thinks she's the most selfish woman he's ever met for asking him to give up his life in Sweden and move to the US for her own comfort. Will Kimmy be forced to stay, chipping away at her hard-earned career if she wants to keep him? As things begin to sour, Kimmy faces challenges in her relationship with Tobias. Someone else moves back into the picture. And then it says, can having it all be a gilded cage? Looking into a divorce in Sweden isn't what former model turned flight attendant Brittany anticipated. Only jointly owned assets are split evenly between couples, and Brittany gave up her career and went with nothing into Johnny's kingdom. Having a child with him, Brittany fears their daughter Maya will be cut off from the resources she's become accustomed to. Trying to get away from a man obsessed with the ghost isn't going to be easy, and the deeper she digs into his past, the darker the secrets unravel. Can you run from your past to have it all? After fleeing her home, these are like 3 different people. After fleeing her home with the help of a client to seek a new life in Sweden, Yasmin carves out her own small corner of the world, finding love in the arms of Yaji Silik. But when someone from her past forces her to become a caretaker before she's ready, she must confront and move beyond her teenage history, all while pursuing her dreams of becoming a makeup artist. So this just sounds good. I love stories that are very like introspective, like they make you think about like why you think the way you think, and this seems like a book like that. Also, there's so many characters, so I feel like those are the types of books where you never get bored. So excited to read that one, and that is contemporary fiction. And I got a total of like 7 books, so we still have a good ways to go. I got a cozy mystery. This is called It's Elementary, and it's by Elise Bryant. I have read Reggie and Delilah's Year Falling by Elise Bryant and absolutely loved it. Like so good. So I wanted to pick this one up, and it says on the back, a fast-paced, completely delightful new mystery about what happens when parents get a little too involved in their kids' schools, from NAACP Image Award nominee Elise Bryant. And it said that It's Elementary is a quick-witted, escapist romp that perfectly captures just how far parents will go to give their kids the very best, all wrapped in a mystery that will leave you guessing to the last page. And Christina Lauren, the author duo that I love, on the back they wrote the perfect puzzle to unravel under the covers. And Emily Henry wrote that this book is a delight. So I feel like I need to read this because I just love both of those authors. And I also love Elise Bryant. I got this book right here, which is another book that is outside of like the genres that I typically read. It's called Yinka, Where Is Your Husband? And it says, meet Yinka, a 30-something Oxford-educated British Nigerian woman whose mother's constant refrain is, Yinka, where is your husband? And on the inside, there's like tons of text messages, there's tons of emails. This just looks like the type of book. There's like little notes that she'll make. Like this says, Operation Wedding Date. My plan to have a date for Rachel's wedding in July. And like this is a little blurb from an email. So it just looks like a really easy, fun read. And I remember like there's sticky notes. I remember when I was asking for books by Black authors that are like contemporary fiction books, what I should read. And so many of you guys recommended this one. So I definitely want to read this one very, very soon. And on the front, it says a little blurb by Emily Henry that I cannot read because it has a sticker in front of it. But she said, I adore Yinka. So I feel like this is going to be a really good book. On the back, it says, like Bridget Jones, Yinka is a lovable and relatable disaster, which is to say she isn't actually a disaster at all. And that's what Emily Henry said. And then the author who wrote One Day in December, she said, beautifully observed, warm, and deeply human. Yinka, Where's Your Husband? Is a meditation on family and friendship, on love and self-love, feel good, funny, and clever. It's got a smash hit written all over it. And the author who wrote Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, which I read that whole series and enjoyed it. She said, Yinka straddles 2 cultures in her search for a husband, smart, sophisticated, and fresh. This is the girl gets herself type of story I love to read. Guys, this might be the first book that I read out of the stack because I feel like I've been in a romance mood lately, but to get me out of that, like I want to read a book that's like, this is focusing on a romance. Like her family's like, when are you gonna get married? Like, when are you gonna do the things? And she, I think is like, I mean, I saw that little list in there. It's like, get a husband by, or get a wedding date by. So she's like kind of focusing on that, but I think it's also gonna focus more on like self-love and friendship which I love. So these are my favorite types of contemporary fiction books to read. And then I also picked up Whenever You're Ready by Rachel Runia Katz, and I thought this one would be a really good book to read. On the back, it says that it's a book about family, friendship, and the kind of first love that could last a lifetime if only you're willing to take a chance. And I don't know, I just feel like this is gonna be a good one. I've never read anything by this author, but the reviews on Goodreads are really high. I think they're like around 4 stars, and this is a very new book. This just came out this year, so these are all the books that I picked up. Really excited to read all these. Comment below which book you guys should think that I should read first. Again, like I said, some of these I do own and some of them I don't. So maybe I should read the books I don't own first. I don't know. But I also kind of want to read the books that I do own because it's like I'm really excited to read them, and I feel like getting the library book is going to make me actually read the book. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this little cozy library day, and let me know which book you guys think that I should read first. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.